Hi, this is Maheen. I am the founder of Maheen The Globe. We also go by MTG. That's my Seattle intern, Tessa Hoyos. And I am so happy and honored to have a panel of amazing musicians, but also brilliant human beings who I got a chance to know and meet in 2019. Tessa, these are my new friends of 2019, pretty much the highlight of my 2019. So we have Zair Zaki, who's the rhythm guitarist of Kashmir The Band. And I also went to their studio and they made amazing chai, which is tea. And I still wonder who made that for us. Then we have Zahid Qureshi from Tamasha. You who saw their video, Roshni, she was saying she was listening to Roshni yesterday and like lip syncing it and stuff. And we also have Shahrukh Aslam, whose humor I love, and he is again, I'm blanking right now. He's Bayan's guitarist, and he's also known as the chief anxiety healer, and he can let us know a little about that too. Today, we're going to talk about the spirit of Ramzan, and I think it would be cool to get a perspective from these progressive musicians and what they think of it. For me personally, so Tessa, for your background, fasting is when you're not eating or drinking anything from dawn to dusk. So in Seattle time, it's from 4:30 in the morning till 8:30 in the night. And I think of it as a detox of mind, body, and soul. The spirit of it is to like empathizing with the poor, being having gratitude for the food on your table, and not to gossip, not to hurt people, and all the good things like that. And I can ask these musicians what it means to them and whether they practice it or not. Some do, some don't, and that's totally fine. So Zaire, how about we ask you first?
I think like during this lockdown, I think Ramzan thoda sa is like kind of a blessing because I think because we were like kind of all like doing nothing all day and like every day was like this day before that. Like because of Ramzan, we have some kind of routine. Like we have something to look forward to at least, which we didn't like a week ago.
Yeah.
Like you wake up, you do your prayers, you like rest for a bit, play video games or whatever you want to do, and then like then you eat a star. So like I guess
Got it.
that's pretty much it. But like it's better than the days before, in my opinion.
I see.
Yeah.
What about you, Zahid?
Well, first of all, hello everyone. Shahrukh, Zair, Tessa,
Hey
and
Zahid
Mahi.
bhai.
Hello.
It's great being here. It's great looking at you guys after so long like this. Also, like, okay, Ramzan is it's mostly about controlling yourself. We need to be able to control our urges, and we need to be more patient. It teaches us to control ourselves. And as a musician, if we're going to talk about being controlled as a musician, it really is a very important thing to be controlled as a musician, because we, while on stage or playing a song, we have these urges. Right, Shahrukh? We have these urges that we need to like play something, but we need to control ourselves. It's more or less the same thing if you apply it on your life as a human, because it's like the whole lifestyle. Fasting like for 30 days every year, it's a lifestyle, so we have to like observe it, and it teaches us a lot of patience. It teaches us empathy for the people who have to, like, who have no other option but to control themselves because they don't have enough, they are not affluent enough to provide for themselves or their families. So in that spirit as well, and in a spirit of controlling our urges, being more wise, being a better person, Ramzan teaches us a lot. And in every walk of life, we need some sort of a mediation. Like we can't be on extreme, so we need that middle ground everywhere in life, in every aspect of life. So that's how it is. That's what it teaches us, and it makes us better human.
Nice. Shahrukh, what about you?
Well, number one, thanks for having me, and not to bite the hand that feeds or go on an unnecessarily negative rant, but um, there's currently, in my opinion, a big gap between what Ramzan was and what it can be, and what we see today. Ramzan, as Zaire and Zaida pointed out, is of course about empathy, it's about self-control, it's about discipline, it's about introspection. But what it's become is this weird, rabid, very corporatized activity where, I mean, I think any restaurant that does an all-you-can-eat buffet for iftar at the end of your Ramzan day is not getting the point. And the fact that these restaurants, when COVID-19 isn't around, are filled to the brim with people who are stuffing their faces because they could afford the all-you-can-eat package, are people who don't get it. And unfortunately, that is a disgustingly large number of people. That's number one. And then number two, of course, is it's seemingly become less about introspection and more about telling your neighbor what the hell they should be doing with their life.
Yeah.
There's people who, when this month rolls around, keep telling us to quit our jobs because there's something wrong with music or there's something wrong with art. So I mean, there's the beautiful thing that Ramzan could be, and there's unfortunately, in my opinion, the grotesque version of it that we see right now.
You're right. I mean, you're talking about gluttony, and it's kind of the intent of Ramzan is pretty much the opposite of that. It's moderation, and you see that in Seattle. It's interesting. So there are a couple of these networking places, which are urban Muslim places, but over there, people are just talking and just finding the right match, and it's just the intent of it is all different. So that's interesting. I wanted to ask this because you brought up a really good point. Can we listen to music? Can we play music during Ramzan? What do you guys think? I'm always a little conflicted. When I grew up, and all the channels would condition us to like, oh, you can only listen to certain things, no music, no this. I'm going through a pandemic right now and I'm getting anxious and I want to listen to music. Can I listen to music, Zair?
I don't know. Like we're not Maulvis and we can't give fatwa, so I don't know what to say on that. But like I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah.
Like I'm the worst person to be asking about all this.
What about you, Zahid? I'm answer my question. I'm not asking for fatwas.
Yeah.
Well, it's your choice. What I think, people in Ramzan, they are more spiritual beings in Ramzan than in other months. So we need to respect them. And with that, I always tell, like, a lot of my friends are like, probably they want to play music loud or they want to jam together where the neighbors could hear us. So I'd rather prefer playing or listening to music on your headphones rather than cranking it up loud, because we need to respect, in order to coexist, we need to respect others, and we need not to hurt others' susceptibilities. If they feel that music should not be playing publicly in the month of Ramzan, we should respect that. And in fact, a couple days ago, I was saying this exact thing to a friend of mine, that if you want to play, just put your headphones on and play whatever you want. Just if you want to listen to music, just listen to it on the headphones. Don't make others listen to it just because you're some sort of a rebellious person who's like, yeah, Ramzan hai to kya hua, I'm gonna still crank up the music. No, we need to respect others.
I think I know who this person is.
So in a way, you guys are saying that gigs are not happening during Ramzan, Shahrukh?
No, because you can get bombed or murdered for that. So probably, I mean, regardless of what the jurisprudence is on that, just out of a sense of self-preservation, I don't think we're going to do gigs during this month. As for whether or not people should be listening to music, I think yes. I don't think there's anything wrong with music. If there was something wrong with music, you shouldn't listen to it, period. Regardless of what month of the year it is, in my opinion. But yes, I think Zayed's right. There's no need to be a nuisance. There's no need to be like an edgy teen. For both your own sake as well as just generally out of a sense of respect for the community around you. But I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with some human being listening to music, which is why, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to do my live sessions or I'm going to post stuff on YouTube. And the best part about social media is you get to choose what content you can consume. So if you don't want to listen to music during Ramzan, don't.
Exactly. That's a good point. Now, let's just transition into the sound of the band and all of that fun stuff. So Tessa's in the process of learning more and more about all of you guys. And so she went through some of your music. And so I'm just going to talk about that a little. So, Tessa, we talked about how Bayaan highlights basic problems of society. Their writing comes from a really sincere place. We listened to Pani and Mitti, which is my favorite song. It's very ethereal and transitionary, and it talks about, I think it's very existentialist and anything in between. That's what I thought of it. And it would be amazing to get subtitles on that song. Shahrukh, I would love it for Tessa to see subtitles as well. And with Kashmir, they cover so many things, like their post rock, alternative rock, ballet rock, progressive rock, you know. And our favorite thing about them is that they're normalizing conversations about mental wellness. And Tessa loved Buddy, the song Buddy, and I'll ask her what she thought of it in a bit. And with Tamasha, it pretty much means to put up a show. And boy, do these guys know how to put up a show. We watched the videos of Tessa Pink and Roshni, which Tessa loved because it was super futuristic. So Tessa, I'm going to first ask you what you thought of Pari of Kashmir's.
First of all, I think your overall sound reminds me a lot of Led Zeppelin. And, that's another band that I listen to from time to time. They're not my favorite. Yeah, you're welcome. Patty was absolutely beautiful. The cinematography of the music video was just so deep and soul hitting, and the music was absolutely beautiful. It just really struck a chord, and unfortunately I don't speak Urdu, so I wish that I could understand it so it could have, I can listen to it when I'm
No, we're working on the translated subtitles, so you'll be able to understand all the lyrics really soon.
Oh, that's fantastic.
In process, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, Maheen was explaining to me what it was about, and I watched interviews with you where you explained the background of the song, and I think it was so beautiful, and it uplifts a community of people who are struggling with mental health. So I think that was really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And then let's talk about the video that we watched of Tamasha. And she watched Paisa Pek and what was the other one? Roshni. She really liked Roshni, right? The one with the astronauts. What did you think?
Yeah, yeah. So it does sound a lot like a modern 90s kind of vibe, and I really, really like that. I just thought it was really cool. It gets stuck in your head so easily, which is really, really cool. Like, y'all make catchy music. And yeah, I thought, again, the videography was really, really cool. I'm really into like that whole futuristic kind of thing. My favorite movie in the whole world is Star Wars, so of course I'm more gravitated towards, the futuristic kind of stuff. So that was really, really cool.
Yes, Shahrukh?
Which one is your favorite?
Episode 5.
Okay, good. Please
Yeah,
continue.
yeah.
So Shahrukh, tell us about what Bayan's doing. I know they released an album. Can we listen to it on Spotify?
Yes, so we released our album, let's say, I don't know, like a month and a half, 2 months ago maybe. It's called Suno. It is on Spotify and Deezer and Tidal and Apple Music and essentially anywhere where you can stream music, you'll find it. And if you want to buy it, we're also on Bandcamp, etc., etc., etc. And yes, Pani or Mitti is in the album along with a few other songs that hopefully Tessa will like.
Can you tell Shahrukh a little about what Pani and Mitti, what the intent of the song was?
Okay, so it was, the lyrics were penned by our drummer, Mansoor, and it is my interpretation of it because, number one, each song means whatever you think it means. Like after you listen to it and after you read the lyrics, it means whatever the hell you want it to mean. So for me, Pani or Mitti is a hate letter for mankind. It is a reflection on the patterns and sort of destructive circles that human beings as individuals and groups keep falling into. And, maybe the universe was better off without us. Kind of bleak, but that's what it is for me.
Got it. So Zair, we've also listened to Dhoop, and thanks so much for sending the subtitles. I love that song so much, and I like the meaning behind it. I think it gives hope. It inspires people. I like how Kashmir touches basic emotions and different aspects of it. And so, what was the concept behind Dhoop?
Like we've been working on the concept of the video for about 2 years, I think.
Okay.
And the director Umar Anwar, as soon as he listened to the song, he was like, "Yeah, I want to do a video of this song, at any cost, and you guys cannot do a video of the song with anybody else." So with a lot of like pre-production and everything, it took us around like 2 years to like gather up the money and like plan accordingly where we're gonna shoot it. Like every single shot was like preconceived before it was shot. Like the way Umar Anwar imagined the whole thing, like it was exactly the way it came out. So like
Mm. Nice. And so, how are you musicians dealing with these like pandemic times? I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, this week was a blur for me. I don't know when the weekend ended and when the week started. Super disorienting. We literally haven't left the house for like, I don't even know, like almost 2 months now. So I don't know. I have days where, I have the feeling of death and loss and grief. And grief comes in waves, right? And then I have some days which are I'm happy and I'm like, oh, at least I have a lot of gratitude of the fact that I'm here with my family and safe. But yeah, it's just different every day. I'm wondering how it is for you guys, Zahid. How is
to
it?
be honest, the whole month has been a blur, but like I guess this is an opportunity for us to like practice more. I've been practicing every day. Like I never used to practice music this much before ever in my life. Like we're individually practicing at our houses. Like Bilal is learning how to record songs and like produce music.
That's
But
it.
like it's kind of boring, but like we still have to make like the best out of it.
Yeah.
Like that's
Zahid,
up
what
to
about
us.
you?
Like you can get bored or like you
Oh,
just like sit around. And I keep sending Zayed by memes every day. So like we're in touch every day, me and Zayed by.
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, well, for me, it's like it's a little bit more of work as well because I'm working from home, and it's the worst idea in such times because when you don't want to stay home, you have to stay home and you have to work as well, which
Yeah.
is like two wrongs right now with the world these days because you do not want to stay home and you do not want to work, and you have to do both things, staying at home. And also as far as music is concerned, I started to like when this lockdown started, we had like a couple like a week off, so I had no work, and I started to collaborate with a lot of artists. We even Shahrukh did a little thing on Zan's uh, riff, and then I played some drums over them. Then I did a cover with Bilal Ali from Kashmir as well, and with some other artists. So I put that time to use, and it has been like probably one of my ideal days when I just wake up and get to music instead of doing anything else. So few days were like that because I didn't sleep at all. I'm not a sleeper. I just need 4 hours to like recharge myself to go another 24 hours. So I woke up in the morning and I just sit on the keys and I'd play, I'd sing, I'd do some stuff. So it was really good. But then again, I wasn't well and I thought I had already got the coronavirus.
I know, I saw
I
pictures
was
of you
I
with
was
with
quite
the mask
worried
on. I
as
was like,
well.
what's going on?
Yes. So after that, the work from home started and it just ruined everything for me.
Got it. Shahrukh, what about you?
Um, well, I think like a lot of other people, I'm sleeping like crap, and I'm sort of always thinking about really bleak stuff. I tried keeping a dream journal, but they were so crap. I stopped writing about them. Um, so what I've been doing is I figured it's been long enough. I'll learn how to produce music instead of just playing that thing.
Nice.
Um, so I've just been, Bayan released like a couple of things that we were calling the Bayan quarantine sessions, but Ramzan has started, so Bayan's taking a month-long hiatus. Um, but while the band is taking that hiatus, I'm continuing to just do other collaborations. There's this amazing singer friend of mine who's currently in the US, and we both have like a mutual love for the 90s grunge scene. So we've been working on a series of like grunge covers,
So
which
cool.
is him singing and me trying to do everything else, including like production and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's very very low stakes because I don't really care how many people listen to it or how many people like what we've done, because I'm just really, really enjoying this experience, especially considering I've waited like a decade to finally cover Soundgarden and Pearl
Yeah.
Jam and so
Love it.
on.
Yeah.
So I'm just super happy, and that's what I'm doing these days.
Yeah, that's what I love about this quarantine time. I see so many collabs happening, and people are going on live Instagram sessions and interacting with their fans. I think that part of it is so beautiful. It's so personalized. And so we wanted to tell you that MTG is basically a global platform for musicians to collab together, and a place where you network with musicians globally. And I had this conversation with Zulfi where we are going to get musicians from everywhere, and his studio is going to be a hub where we'll do amazing collabs. And I'm so excited about that. And I would love to have, Kashmir and Bayaan and Tamaasha, get into this beautiful process.
That'd be great. We're always in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're always looking forward for anything.
Yeah.
So, any favorite collabs that have been there online that you guys like to talk about? Zair, I'll ask you.
Like favorite collabs between who?
Between any musicians that you saw maybe on Instagram or somewhere, and you were like, oh, this
I
one.
I saw one. I liked a couple. Zahid Bhai did, like he did one with Bilal, and then Ali Raza from Tamasha did one with Bilal, and then these guys from Bayan did Hallelujah. I really like that one. That wasn't a collaboration though. That was just their own project. But like there are a lot of collaborations out like on Instagram and everywhere. Like everybody's just collaborating with everybody. It's
Yeah,
great.
our favorite so far is the one that Bilal did with Dino Ali, the Queen cover. Tessa saw it, her mind was blown. Tessa,
that
what
was
do you
really
think of it?
Oh my gosh. When I was listening to it, I was about to text Maheen, like, this guy's lip syncing. And then, like, there was a point where it just didn't sound like the original song and he put his own spin on it. I'm like, oh my God, this is his voice. Like, wow, that's insane.
He has like the most insane vocal range. And I think the way he talk, I feel like Urdu music is not really, he's tuned to English music. Like he should do more English covers. That's why his voice suits that. Right, Zahid? What do you think?
He has always been like into singing and listening to Western music, and he has that enunciation, and he has listened to so much of it, like the Disney, Broadway. He's an asshole. First of all, he listens to so much music. We do not have that much propensity to consume the content of so much diverse artists in this world, and he probably knows every other artist that you'd say, okay, have you listened to that guy? He'll be like, yeah, I've heard his album. Like the album, we're not talking about the album, dude. just name the artist and be like, yeah, I know that artist. That's enough. But he has so much absorption in him. So, and that shows when he's singing, and his strong area is like Western songs, and he has a like good range. And even if you listen to Pesa Pek, he's like shown some of that good range there as well. And
Right.
while I'm designing the melody for a song of like for Tamasha, I'm actually keeping which key he would want to sing and what key would make his vocal shine out. That is like one of my main concerns, where I'm really putting my focus on, okay, let's see Bilal's range, how to use that to the whole sound's advantage. So Bilal is like phenomenal.
Cool. Another thing that I really liked online these days was Bilal Ali's version of Hum Tum that he sang of Vital Signs. It was so beautiful. The song was stripped down, just an acoustic. His voice is brilliant.
He listens to that song all day, like every day.
I
Like
love that
he's
song. That's
addicted.
like
He's been listening to it for the past few years. Like
it's
it's
such a
always playing in his car and everywhere. Yeah.
yeah. And it's one of those songs that wasn't really a commercial success. Like very few people know about that song.
Yeah, I think the last few albums of Vital Signs weren't really big commercial successes. Like, but like if you listen to them now, they sound really good.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why people like them.
Also this generation, like the new one, the booming generation, the boomers
Yeah.
haven't listened to much of that,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest.
And in Bayan's terms, I love the bit of Khelja Datsay, which Asfar did. And Asfar, Tessa, I have to tell you, he's such a cool guy. So I met him, and he's just, I feel like he doesn't belong in this city world. I feel like he belongs somewhere else. Like he's so pure and like innocent.
He's from the mountains. He's
Yeah,
not
he's from the
from
mountains. This northern area called Chitral. And his like added, he's just like, I was like, how do you deal with living in Pakistan? I mean, there's so many stresses, I mean, it can be a toxic place too at times. So as writers, to feel inspired, how do you deal with it? He's like, I just go to the mountains and I breathe. and I just decompress, and then I write, and then I sing, and I'm like, oh, I love that.
Yeah, one day he showed me a photo of like his house from there, like, and he showed me and he said, I was writing a song, I was sitting here. I was like, put me over there. I'm gonna write such good songs. You have no idea. Because that really affects, all that nature. It really, when you absorb that and you resonate with that frequency, it changes the way you create stuff.
Yeah. So,
Amazing.
Tara,
And
I wanted to
also,
ask you, what's your favorite like collab online so far? And also, I love the dynamics of Bayan. Like when I met you guys in Lahore, you all are so different. How do you like work together? You're like so different from each other.
We communicate through letters and agents. We don't make eye contact. Uh, no, it's just well, we're friends, and friends are sometimes different. And when you're friends with someone, you understand where they're coming from and what their heart buttons are. And when you want to piss them off, you can be very good at it, but you also know that you don't want to piss them off. So yeah, yeah, we get along. We've all got our sort of spaces organizationally, musically, and we know how to work with each other. And because we also are in a very, very rare situation where we actually give a damn about each other, it helps. It's a damn postcard. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, when I try to write, all I come up with is absolute bile. It's so negative. It's so toxic. I only know how to tell people I
Polluted.
hate them because of the smog that I'm breathing in. He comes in with all these gorgeous, stanzas, describing how amazing life can be, and I'm like, okay, bro.
So if you were to make analogies between, so I'm going to ask you, Tessa. So if you were to make analogies between the songs, the songs that you hear, the Western music, and to the sound of these guys, what would you say Tamasha sounds like, or Kashmir sounds like, or Bayan sounds like? I know it's a really tough question. I'm putting you on a spot.
Yeah, within like the last like 5 minutes that we have. I already said that Kashmir sounds like Led Zeppelin, and it's funny because they have a song called Kashmir.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I told Shahrukh, like before you guys got on, that I read a comment that said that they were basically the Coldplay of Pakistan, and I think that's pretty true. Yeah, it's really Coldplay-esque, and I really do like that. Then Tamasha, I don't know, man. I would say like there's some Red Hot Chili Peppers in there.
Yes.
Maybe some Foo Fighters. I don't know. It's just really hard to pinpoint.
Shahrukh, you saying something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shahrukh can pinpoint better.
Yeah, okay.
So Tamasha is a crossbred Red Hot Chili Peppers, Def Leppard, and Tenacious D.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Tenacious D.
That's good.
Nice. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time today. We are just wrapping up now. This was awesome. We're just scratching the surface here of Pakistani music. Our intent is to full on be a platform for collaborations of artists globally. And you guys are the first 3 bands that we picked, and it's going to go on week from week. And thanks so much for being part of our show today. You guys are awesome. Keep making the music that you're making. We need music to heal ourselves in these times. And it's incredible what you guys are doing.
No worries.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much,
having
man.
us over. Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. You guys were fantastic.
Bye.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for listening to our music.
Yeah,
And
of
hope to,
course.
see you guys again.
Subtitles coming soon, promise.
Yay.
Thank you. All right. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Bye bye.
Bye.